Okay, here's part two of the video. So this is page two, and it's just working with equations and segment addition. It's just kind of giving you an intro. We'll do more of this in class. So here's the basic problem. M is between N and P, gives those two lengths. Find MP. What I want you to do is I want you to pause the video in a moment, and then I want you to draw the situation yourself. It's a good practice for you. So read the problem, pause the video, and draw what it says. And then I'll show you what I get, and we'll see if it matches up. Okay, here's my drawing. And it shows you M being between N and P. I didn't put it right in the middle. I put it somewhere around there. It said NM is 48. Remember, with no notation on it, that means that the distance, the length of segment NM. And so I put 48 right there to say, okay, that little piece is 48. And then it said NP is 65. That's all the way from the beginning to the end is 65. So I put a little bar up top to say this whole thing is 65. So I didn't get confused about what the 65 represents. And the question is, how big is MP? Well, this is pretty straightforward. It's just the two little segments are going to add up to the big segment because they're all in one segment. They're all collinear. So 48 plus, however long MP is going to get you 65 as an answer. And now we've got, algebra showing up. So you can set up an equation like this and then do whatever algebra you need to solve it. So I could subtract 48 on both sides. And this is where, when we get to algebra stuff, we're always going to kind of pause a little bit and check in with people because we know that what people did in Algebra 1 last year might really vary depending on the person in the class and stuff. So in the school. So MP is equal to 17. Boom, got it. Okay, here's the next one. X is between W and Z. So I can, that's easy. Okay, W is here, and Z is here, and X is somewhere in between. It's not right in the middle necessarily. I don't know if it's closer to one or closer to the other. I'm just putting it somewhere in the middle. It says ZX is 6 plus 4X. So this is 6 plus 4X. And WX is 30 minus 2X. So WX, okay, that's just the other part. And it says WZ is 45. So the whole thing from beginning to end is 45. So if that's true, find the value of X. One thing, this was supposed to be a small x. I think Word auto-capitalized it. Whoops. So that's little x. Find the value of little x and check to see if WX and WZ, that should have been XZ. Sorry about that, a little typo. Check to see if they're congruent. Okay, so let's try it out. So it says, okay, so that's 6 plus 4x. This is 30 minus 2x. The whole thing is 45. So now I can set up an equation. Just this, and this idea that you can take a big segment's length and you could break it up into smaller segments. That's called the segment addition postulate. It's not something we're going to quiz you on, but you're going to see it show up as a vocab thing every once in a while. But it's not something that we're testing you on, like knowing that vocab word. So, all right. So the two little ones add up to the big one because they're collinear, because it said between. Cool. So 30 minus 2x plus 6 plus 4x is equal to 45. Okay. So now I got a couple x's there. So now I got to solve this thing. If you know how to solve it, maybe you pause the video and you do it right now by yourself just to try it yourself and see if you've got it. If your algebra is a little rusty or if you feel like you didn't get as much practice on these last year, then you can watch me do this one, and that's okay. I'm giving people a second to pause it if they want to. Okay, so now I'm going to solve this thing. So in order to solve it, I want to gather up like terms. I can't combine numbers and terms that have variables in it, but I can combine, because they're on the same side, this term and this term, because they both have x's, so they're like terms. little Algebra 1 stuff. So this one is a negative 2x, and the other one is a 4x. So altogether, that makes 2x. And then I've got a 30 and a 6, so that's plus 36 equals 45 as an answer. Cool. Now, I want to get the x by itself, so I've got to get rid of the 2, and I've got to get rid of the 36. You want to subtract first here, because otherwise you run into some order of operations issues. So 2x is equal to 9, and then I can divide by 2. So x is equal to 9 halves, if I want to write it as a fraction, or 4.5. Either one's fine. We won't specify fractions or decimals, or we don't care unless we say so. So on any given problem, if it doesn't say anything, it's your choice. Okay, so we found the value of x. Oh, and check to see if, check to see if wx and xz are congruent. Okay, so wx is this and xz is this. Now I know what x is, I need to put that in to see what the lengths are. So wx is 30 minus 2 times 4.5. So that's 30 minus 2 times 4.5 is 9. So that's 21. On the other one, it's 6 plus 4 times 4.5. X is still 4.5. So 4 times 4.5. So that's 4 times 4 is 16. And 4 times a half is 2. So 16 and 2 is 18. So it's 6 plus 18, which is 24. This is one good thing, is it does give me a little check of my work. I can see that these add up to 45, which is what I wanted. But they're not equal, so not congruent. Having spelling troubles here. Congruent. Because they're not equal. Okay? So what did we do today? Today we learned about adding segments in this segment addition postulate idea, that you can add segments and combine them up to get the total length as long as things are collinear, as long as it's all on one segment. We learned what between means, that it means collinear between, but not necessarily in the middle between. We learned what congruent segments were. And then we learned how we can set up equations to solve things. If we have these collinear points and we have distances, we can use equations in order to solve for variables or to find missing information. Yeah. So after the notes, why don't you circle one of these for yourself, how you feel about this content. And then just a little intro weather check. How are you doing? Today I'm feeling, and let us know how you're feeling. And anything else you want to share with your teacher, you can put at the bottom. It'll be in your private OneNote so other students won't see it. Okay? Hope that made sense, and have a lovely Wednesday or Thursday whenever you're doing this, and we'll see you Friday. Take care.